Wait. Don't scroll away just yet. This could be the most important moment of your life. If you've landed on this video, it's not by accident. In fact, it's a divine appointment. God is trying to reach you right now, and this message could be the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Financial struggles, missed opportunities, and closed doors have been following you for too long, haven't they? But guess what? That's all about to change. Right now, heaven is moving on your behalf. You may have felt stuck, like nothing's going your way, but that's because God has been preparing something much bigger. It's not just about fixing your current situation. It's about unleashing a level of abundance you've never seen before. But here's the kicker. You need to watch this video until the end, because the steps you'll discover here are the key to unlocking your financial miracle. Miss even a second, and you might miss the breakthrough that's about to flood into your life. Think about it. Why do you think you've been led here today, of all days? This is not a coincidence. It's divine timing. The struggles you've faced, the doors that have slammed in your face, it all led you to this moment. But you need to be ready. Are you ready? Ready to stop living in financial stress and anxiety? Ready to stop asking, why isn't this working out for me? And finally see God's favor shower down on your life? Imagine waking up tomorrow and everything has shifted. Your debts, wiped out. Your bank account, full. Your mind, at peace. This isn't just some wishful thinking. This is God's promise to you. But here's the deal. Only those who are ready to claim it will receive it. If you're still watching, it means you're ready. God doesn't make mistakes, and you were meant to see this today. But the window of opportunity is closing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this really for me? Let me tell you something. God's plans for you are so much bigger than you can imagine. You may have been feeling small, forgotten, like the blessings are passing you by. But that's the lie the enemy wants you to believe. The truth? You've been chosen for something extraordinary. This is your moment to rise above the struggle and step into a season of favor like never before. But you have to take action. Don't let doubt creep in now, when you're so close to receiving what's already been set aside for you. God's waiting for you to say yes. Yes to abundance. Yes to financial freedom. Yes to living a life that's overflowing, so much so that you can't help but bless others around you. Because this blessing isn't just for you, it's for your family, your community, everyone you touch. So stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to share could change the course of your financial future forever. This is your sign. God is moving in your life, and it all starts right here, right now. The question is, will you claim it? Being chosen by God is not a coincidence. It's an honor that carries great responsibility. You are not here just to live an ordinary life, but to break the cycles that have held your family back for generations. Once you realize this, you understand that every challenge you've faced has a higher purpose. Life becomes less about merely surviving and more about building something new, something solid. The weight of this mission can be overwhelming, but it's in those moments your strength shines. Have you noticed how certain situations seem to repeat themselves in your life and family? It's like there's a pattern, something that keeps coming back, blocking progress. But yes, you were chosen to break this. You may feel alone in this battle, but you're not. God has selected you to transform the story and has equipped you with all the tools needed. And believe me, this journey is far more rewarding than you can imagine. The fact that you were chosen means there is untapped potential inside of you. Every chosen person faces difficulties, but it is through those struggles that God's divine purpose is fulfilled. No matter how many obstacles you encounter, each one is an opportunity to show what you're made of. It's in the hardest moments that your true strength emerges. Think of difficulties as stepping stones to even greater heights. You are not chosen just for yourself, but to impact others as well. Your family, friends, and even those you haven't met yet will be touched by your life. When you position yourself as someone who breaks chains, the freedom isn't just yours, it belongs to everyone around you. Imagine how many lives can be transformed simply because you had the courage to act differently. The legacy you are building is far greater than you know. Sometimes being chosen can feel like a lonely task, but that isolation is only temporary. You may feel isolated, misunderstood, but that's part of the process. The greatest leaders, the ones who changed the course of history, all faced moments of solitude. And you know what they had in common? The faith that they were on the right path, even when no one else could see it. That same faith is inside you, waiting to be accessed. Being chosen doesn't mean things will be easy. Quite the opposite. The greatest battles are reserved for the strongest warriors. And you, without a doubt, are one of those warriors. Every closed door, every disappointment, is preparing you for something much greater. Remember, gold is purified by fire. Just like gold, your soul is being refined to shine brightly. And that light won't just be for you, it will illuminate many. The first thing you need to do when accepting that you were chosen is to change your mindset. It's no longer about what you can't do, but about all you're capable of. Your words, your actions, your posture. All of that changes when you understand the power of divine selection. You begin to act with more confidence, knowing that you're not walking this path alone. Every step you take, God is right there, guiding and strengthening you. Maybe you feel fear, and that's normal. Great missions create great fears. But remember, fear is just an indicator that something important is about to happen. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to act despite it. When you take that step of faith, even trembling, something powerful unfolds. You begin to see things align in surprising, almost magical ways. Divine selection is not limited to a single moment, it renews every day. Each morning when you wake up, God reaffirms that choice. He gives you new opportunities to make a difference, to impact the world around you. And you, with your unique way of being, were specifically designed for this mission. There is no one like you, and that's exactly what makes you so special for this purpose. Always remember this. You were chosen because you have something unique and irreplaceable. Everyone has a role in God's grand plan, but yours is distinct. When you embrace this truth, you walk with more ease and certainty. It's not about being perfect, but about being persistent. And persistence, yes, is the key that unlocks the greatest doors in life. If you've ever wondered why certain things happened in your life, now is the time to understand. God never does anything by chance. Every detail has a purpose. That situation you thought was the end was just the beginning of something grand, something you're still discovering. The key is to not give up, to keep seeking, because the full revelation is right ahead of you. The time for waiting is over, now it's time to act. The choice has already been made, and you are the chosen one. There's no more time for doubt or hesitation. God has given you everything you need to move forward. Each step you take brings you closer to your destiny. And before you know it, you'll be living what once seemed impossible. Everything starts with a decision to embrace that you've been chosen. Accepting that you are chosen means understanding that change starts with you. Before transforming the world, you must transform your inner self. This might mean letting go of old habits, old thoughts that no longer serve you. The process of growth isn't always comfortable, but it's necessary. And in the end, today's discomfort will be tomorrow's success. Think about the great leaders of history. They didn't know from the beginning the size of the mission they had. But over time, they revealed themselves and embraced the role God had set for them. In the same way, you may not understand everything now, but you're on the right path. Every small action you take is paving the way for something much bigger. Just keep moving forward, with faith and determination. What awaits you is far greater than anything you've ever dreamed of. You were chosen to create a legacy that will impact not only your life but the lives of generations. The blessings coming your way are immeasurable. When a door closes, it's easy to feel frustrated or confused. You wonder why things didn't work out, why the opportunity slipped away. But those closed doors are not rejections, they are redirections. Every time something doesn't go as planned, God is protecting you from a path that wasn't meant for you. It's not a punishment, it's divine protection in action. Think of the times when you wanted something so badly, but it didn't happen. Maybe it was a job, a relationship, or a financial opportunity. At the moment, it felt like the end of the world. But now, looking back, you can see how that closed door was actually a blessing. It was God steering you away from something that would not serve your greater purpose. Closed doors are hard to understand in the moment. We are conditioned to believe that every opportunity must be seized, that every no is a failure. But what if the no is the very thing that saves you? God sees what we cannot. He knows the future, and He knows the dangers hidden on the paths we are eager to take. Trusting Him means accepting that some doors are better left shut. Imagine walking down a path and seeing a door slam in your face. Your immediate reaction is disappointment. But what if behind that door was a trap or a pitfall you couldn't see? God closes doors to protect you from what you don't yet understand. It's His way of guiding you towards something better, something aligned with your true purpose. Every no is a divine yes to something greater. In the midst of disappointment, it's easy to forget that God has a plan. You might feel lost, like you missed out on a great opportunity. But that missed opportunity was part of His design. Think about it. If every door opened for you, you'd be walking down paths that lead nowhere. Closed doors are God's way of keeping you on track, ensuring you don't get distracted by things that aren't meant for you. Faith is trusting that even when doors close, they're closing for your good. God's vision is much broader than ours. He knows the long-term effects of each decision, each path. We might only see what's right in front of us, but He sees the entire journey. Every door that shuts is part of the bigger picture, one that only God can see in its entirety. Some of the most successful people will tell you their greatest breakthroughs came after doors were slammed in their faces. They had to learn the hard way that rejection isn't failure, it's protection. When one door closes, another one opens, and that's where your focus should be. Don't waste time mourning over closed doors. Look for the open ones, because they're leading you to your destiny. Think about how many times you've dodged a bullet without even knowing it. That job you didn't get? Maybe it would have drained your energy and left you feeling unfulfilled. That relationship that didn't work out? It could have kept you from finding your true partner. Every closed door has a hidden blessing behind it, even if it takes time for you to realize it. It's natural to feel disappointed when something doesn't work out, especially when it involves something you've been praying for. But remember, God is always working behind the scenes. The door that closed was part of His plan to open another better one. Every time you face a rejection, it's an opportunity to trust God's timing and His plan for your life. Closed doors are often the way God slows us down, giving us time to prepare for what's next. If every door opened immediately, you wouldn't be ready for the blessings ahead. The waiting period, the disappointment, it's all part of the preparation. God is shaping you, molding you into the person who can handle the greatness He has in store. Be patient, because the best is yet to come. It's easy to focus on what you've lost when a door closes. But what if, instead, you focused on what God is preparing for you? Every closed door is a sign that something better is on its way. It's not about what you've missed, it's about what you're about to gain. The door that closed is making room for the blessings that are about to flood in. Closed doors teach us resilience. They remind us that life isn't about getting everything we want, but about trusting the process. When one door closes, it's not the end, it's a new beginning. It's an invitation to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. The more doors that close, the closer you get to the one that will change everything. Think of each closed door as a stepping stone toward your destiny. God's plan is not always easy to understand, but it's always perfect. He knows what's best for you, even when you don't. The door that didn't open was never meant to open. It was simply there to guide you in the right direction, toward the path He has prepared for you. When God closes a door, it's not because you're unworthy or undeserving. It's because He has something far better in mind. Trust that the closed doors in your life are not mistakes, but divine detours. They are leading you away from harm and toward the blessings you've been praying for. The challenge is to have faith even when the path isn't clear. Closed doors are not dead ends. They are turning points. They redirect your life in ways you never expected, guiding you toward greater things. God is always in control, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. Trust in His protection, and you'll see that every closed door is a step closer to the life you're meant to live. The open doors are just around the corner. Every challenge you've faced so far has been part of a greater plan. God doesn't allow you to go through hardships for no reason. Each struggle is like a refining fire, shaping and molding you into the person you need to become. The obstacles, the setbacks, they are all tools in God's hands. He is preparing you for greater victories that are beyond what you can imagine right now. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when life throws challenges your way. You might ask yourself, why is this happening to me? But the truth is, God never wastes a moment of your pain. Every hardship is building strength, resilience, and wisdom within you. He is creating someone who can handle the blessings He's preparing. You are not just surviving, you're in the process of thriving. Think of your life as a warrior in training. No warrior is prepared for battle without first going through tough training. The struggles you face now are your training ground. Every difficulty you overcome adds another layer of strength and skill to your character. It's all leading up to a victory that will be worth every moment of the struggle. The greater the battle, the greater the victory. Imagine an athlete preparing for a major competition. They train for months, enduring physical and mental challenges that push them to their limits. But when the moment of victory comes, all that pain and struggle makes sense. In the same way, God is training you for something monumental. Every hardship is making you stronger, sharper, and more equipped for the destiny He has set for you. The process may be long, and at times you may wonder if it's even worth it. But what if I told you that the challenges you're facing now are the very things that will qualify you for the blessings ahead? God isn't just preparing a victory for you, He's preparing you for that victory. You are being refined, and when the time comes, you'll look back and see that every trial had its purpose. Have you ever baked a cake? Before it becomes the beautiful, delicious creation we all enjoy, it goes through a process. Ingredients are mixed, it's placed in the oven at high temperatures, and it takes time to bake. Your life is like that. You're in the oven, going through the heat of trials and challenges, but soon you'll emerge, fully prepared for the victory God has in store. It's tempting to wish for an easy life, free from difficulties, but easy lives don't produce strong people. God knows this. That's why He allows you to experience hard times, not to punish you, but to prepare you. He's building within you the strength and resilience needed to handle the weight of your future blessings. Remember, the greater the blessing, the stronger the foundation needs to be. Think about a diamond. Before it shines brilliantly, it's just a lump of coal buried deep in the earth. It has to go through immense pressure and heat to become the valuable gem we all admire. Your life is like that diamond. The pressures and challenges you're facing are transforming you into something far more valuable than you can imagine. God is working in the hidden places, preparing you to shine. It's easy to look at others and wonder why their lives seem easier. But don't be fooled by appearances. Everyone has their own battles, and comparison only steals your joy. What God is preparing for you is unique. The path He's set for you requires a specific kind of preparation, one that only you can go through. Embrace your journey, knowing that the victories ahead are tailor-made for you. When you're going through hard times, it's natural to feel like giving up. But remember, every time you endure, you're building the strength you'll need for the future. God doesn't let you face more than you can handle, even when it feels like too much. Trust that He knows your limits and is pushing you just enough to prepare you for what's to come. Your persistence now will lead to breakthroughs later. Preparation takes time. There's no rushing the process, just like you can't rush the growth of a tree. A tree needs time to take root, to grow strong, and to bear fruit. In the same way, God is rooting you deeply in His purpose. The deeper the roots, the stronger you'll stand when the winds of life come. And when the time is right, the fruit of your labor will be abundant. Think of it this way: the challenges you face today are the stories of victory you'll tell tomorrow. Every setback, every disappointment, will one day be part of your testimony. God is preparing you not only for personal victory, but also to inspire others with your story. The hardships you endure will be a source of strength and encouragement for those who are going through similar battles. God is not just preparing a victory for you, He's preparing a testimony through you. Your story will be one of triumph, a testament to God's power to turn trials into triumphs. And when that victory comes, you'll understand why the preparation was so necessary. You'll see that without the hardships, the victory wouldn't have been as sweet, nor would you have been ready to receive it. Every day is part of the preparation. Even when you can't see it, God is working behind the scenes. Your victories are already being set in motion, and the blessings are being prepared. All you need to do is stay faithful, keep pushing forward, and trust the process. The victory that's coming will be far greater than anything you can imagine, and it will all make sense when you reach the other side. You are not just living for yourself, you are building something much greater. The struggles, the battles, and the hardships you face are not just your own, they are the legacy you are creating. For generations, your family may have been stuck in cycles of limitation, but you were chosen to break those chains. You have the power to rewrite your family's story, creating a new legacy that will impact not only your life but the lives of generations to come. Think of your life as a bridge between the past and the future. You are standing in the middle, with the opportunity to either continue the cycles that have held your family back or to start something new. And you have chosen the path of change. This decision is not easy. It requires courage, faith, and determination. But the rewards are immeasurable. You are building a legacy that will echo through time. Breaking generational chains is not just about what you do, it's about what you refuse to accept. You've decided that the limitations of the past will not define your future. The fears, doubts, and struggles that have plagued your family for years end with you. You are setting a new standard, one that will inspire and uplift those who come after you. The legacy you're building is one of strength and perseverance. Every time you make a choice that aligns with growth and progress, you are rewriting your family's history. You're showing future generations that there is a different way, a better way. Imagine the impact you'll have on your children, your grandchildren, and even those you will never meet. They will look back and see that you were the one who dared to dream bigger, who dared to break free from the chains of the past. It's not an easy path, but it's the right one. Creating a new legacy requires you to face challenges head-on, to overcome obstacles that others in your family may have avoided. But with every obstacle you conquer, you're laying the foundation for something new, something strong. You are planting seeds that will grow into a mighty legacy, one that will stand the test of time. When you look at your family's history, you may see patterns of lack, of struggle, of missed opportunities. But you have the power to change that. You are the one who can turn the tide, who can create a legacy of abundance, success, and purpose. This is your moment to step into your role as a legacy builder. What you do now will shape the future in ways you can't even imagine. Think about it. You're not just living for today. Every decision you make, every action you take is part of the story you are writing for future generations. They will inherit the legacy you leave behind. And because you've chosen to break the chains, they will inherit a legacy of freedom, of possibility, of hope. You are the turning point in your family's history. Creating a new legacy doesn't mean forgetting the past. It means learning from it, understanding what worked and what didn't, and using that wisdom to build something better. Your family's history is part of who you are, but it doesn't have to define who you become. You have the power to take the best parts of the past and leave behind the parts that no longer serve you. This is how you build a legacy. As you create this new legacy, remember that it's not just about material success. It's about values, principles, and character. You are teaching future generations what it means to be strong, to be resilient, to be kind. These are the qualities that will last long after you're gone. Money can be spent, but a legacy of integrity and faith will endure forever. That's the legacy you are building. There will be moments when you feel like giving up. The weight of breaking generational chains can feel overwhelming. But remember, you are not alone. God has chosen you for this task, and He is with you every step of the way. Every challenge you face is part of the process, and every victory you achieve brings you closer to the legacy you are creating. You are stronger than you think, and your legacy will reflect that strength. Think of the impact you are having, not just on your family, but on the world. As you break free from the chains of the past, you are setting an example for others to follow. You are showing them that it's possible to create a new legacy, one of hope and possibility. Your life is a testament to what can be achieved when you refuse to settle for less. Your legacy is already making a difference. The changes you are making today will ripple out into the future. You may not see all the effects of your efforts right now, but trust that they are happening. Your legacy is like a tree that will continue to grow long after you're gone. The seeds you plant today will bear fruit for generations. You are creating something that will last, something that will continue to bless others for years to come. It's important to remember that creating a new legacy is not a one-time event. It's a journey, one that requires consistent effort and faith. Every day, you have the opportunity to make choices that align with the legacy you are building. And every day, those choices bring you closer to the future you envision. You are on a path of transformation, and the legacy you leave will be the result of that journey. As you build this new legacy, don't forget to celebrate the small victories along the way. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward breaking the chains of the past. Celebrate your progress, and know that every effort you make is contributing to the legacy you are creating. You are changing your family's future, one step at a time, and that is something to be proud of. You are not just breaking chains. You are building a legacy of freedom, of possibility, of hope. Your life is a gift to future generations, and the choices you make today will shape their tomorrow. This is your moment to step into your role as a legacy builder, to create something lasting, something meaningful. The legacy you leave behind will be a testament to your courage, your strength, and your faith. Financial transformation is not just about numbers. It starts with faith. When you believe in God's ability to bring abundance into your life, you activate a powerful force. Money is a tool, but faith is the engine that drives financial blessings. You must first declare that you trust God to turn your financial situation around. It's about shifting from a mindset of lack to one of abundance, knowing that God provides. Many people struggle with finances because they feel trapped in a cycle of scarcity. They see money as something hard to come by, something that slips through their fingers. But God's economy doesn't work like the world's economy. When you trust in Him, He can open doors that seemed impossible. Financial abundance is not just about having more money. It's about experiencing freedom, peace, and security through God's provision. Faith is the currency of heaven, and it's time to start using it in your finances. You may have bills piling up or debt weighing you down, but God is greater than any financial burden. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by money problems, but that's where faith steps in. Trust that God can provide in ways you can't even imagine. Declare today that your financial transformation is on the way. Think of the times in the Bible when God provided in miraculous ways. He fed thousands with just a few loaves and fishes. He brought manna from heaven for the Israelites. These stories are not just ancient history. They are reminders of what God can do in your life today. Your financial situation is no different. When you place it in God's hands, He can multiply what you have and provide what you need. Believing in financial transformation requires you to see beyond the present. Right now, your bank account might not look the way you want it to, but that's not the end of the story. God is writing a new chapter in your financial life. The key is to hold on to faith, even when the numbers don't add up. Trust that God's abundance is on the way, and start living as if it's already here. One of the greatest barriers to financial abundance is fear. Fear of not having enough, fear of losing what you have, fear of the future. But God calls us to live by faith, not by fear. When you shift from fear to faith, you open the door to God's blessings. Start speaking abundance over your life. Declare that your financial situation is turning around, not because of your own strength, but because of God's power. Financial transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with a single step of faith. Begin by giving thanks for what you have, no matter how little it may seem. Gratitude is the foundation of abundance. When you appreciate what God has already given you, you make room for more. And remember, abundance is not just about having a lot, it's about having enough, and trusting that God will always provide. It's time to stop thinking small when it comes to your finances. God's plans for you are bigger than you can imagine. He doesn't want you to just get by, He wants you to thrive. But thriving requires a mindset shift. You have to believe that abundance is your birthright as a child of God. It's not selfish to want financial success. It's part of God's design for you to live in freedom and generosity. Generosity is the key that unlocks financial blessings. When you give, you create space for God to bless you even more. It might seem counterintuitive. How can you give when you feel like you don't have enough? But that's the beauty of faith. When you give from a place of trust, God multiplies your resources. Start small if you need to, but don't be afraid to be generous. Your financial transformation is tied to your willingness to give. Sometimes, financial transformation requires letting go of old habits and mindsets. If you've been living with a scarcity mentality, it's time to shift to abundance thinking. Stop focusing on what you lack and start focusing on what you have. God has already given you the tools and opportunities to create wealth. It's up to you to recognize them and act in faith, trusting that He will guide your steps. Financial abundance doesn't mean you won't face challenges, but it does mean you'll be equipped to overcome them. God never promised a life free of difficulties, but He did promise to be with you through every trial. When you trust in His provision, you'll find that even in hard times, you have what you need. Your faith will carry you through, and your financial transformation will be a testament to God's faithfulness. Faith without action is dead. So what steps can you take today toward financial transformation? Maybe it's creating a budget, seeking wise counsel, or starting the business you've been dreaming of. Whatever it is, take a step in faith. God will meet you there. He doesn't expect you to do everything on your own, but He does expect you to act on the faith you declare. Trust that He will provide the resources and opportunities you need. As you walk in faith toward financial transformation, be prepared for miracles. God is not limited by your circumstances. He can turn things around in ways you never expected. But it all starts with your belief. Do you believe that God can change your financial story? If so, start speaking it, start acting on it, and watch how God moves in your life. Financial transformation is not just a possibility, it's a promise. Your financial transformation is not just about you, it's about blessing others as well. When God brings abundance into your life, it's not just for your benefit. He wants you to be a channel of blessing to those around you. As you experience financial freedom, you'll have the ability to give generously, to support causes that matter, and to make a difference in the world. That's the true power of financial transformation. The journey to financial transformation is one of faith, trust, and action. It requires you to believe in God's power to provide, to trust in His timing, and to take steps toward the future He has planned for you. When God blesses you, it's never just for you. He blesses you so that you can become a blessing to others. Your life is meant to be a testimony, a living example of how God's grace and provision can transform lives. Every blessing you receive is a seed, and that seed is meant to grow and bear fruit in the lives of those around you. God's blessings flow through you, not just to you. Being a channel of blessing means that you are part of a bigger plan. God uses people to accomplish His will, and He has chosen you to be part of that process. When you receive blessings, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual, they are meant to be shared. The more you give, the more God pours into your life. It's a cycle of blessing that continues as long as you remain open to it. Think of the ways you've been blessed in your life. Maybe it's through relationships, opportunities, or resources. Now think about how those blessings can be used to help others. God doesn't want you to hold on to them tightly, but to use them to uplift and support those in need. By doing so, you become a reflection of God's love and generosity. Your life becomes a beacon of hope for others. It's important to understand that being a channel of blessing doesn't always mean giving money. Sometimes it's about giving your time, your wisdom, or even just a listening ear. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, can have a ripple effect. You never know how much your simple acts of service can impact someone's life. God is using you to make a difference, and that's a powerful thing. Imagine the impact you can have by living as a channel of blessing. You might not see it immediately, but every time you bless someone else, you're planting seeds. Those seeds will grow, and they will continue to spread blessings far beyond what you can see. This is how God's kingdom works. One blessing multiplies into many, and you are part of that multiplication. God's blessings are endless, but they are meant to be shared. When you give, you create space for more blessings to flow into your life. It's like a river. If the water is blocked, it stagnates, but when it flows freely, it brings life wherever it goes. You are that river, and God wants His blessings to flow through you to bring life and hope to others. The more you bless, the more you'll be blessed. Being a channel of blessing also means being a light in dark places. The world is full of people who need hope, who need to see that transformation is possible. When you share your blessings, you are showing them that God is real and that His love is powerful. Your life becomes a testimony of God's goodness, and that testimony can inspire others to seek Him for themselves. Sometimes it's easy to think that we don't have enough to give. But God is not asking for you to give what you don't have. He wants you to give what He's already placed in your hands. Whether it's time, resources, or encouragement, you have something valuable to offer. When you trust God to use what you have, He multiplies it beyond your imagination. Don't underestimate the power of what you already possess. Living as a channel of blessing requires a mindset shift. Instead of focusing on what you need, start thinking about how you can serve others with what you already have. When you make this shift, you'll notice that God begins to provide for your needs in unexpected ways. The more you give, the more you'll receive, not just in material things, but in peace, joy, and fulfillment. That's the true blessing. God wants to use your life as a living testimony of His power. He wants others to look at you and see what is possible through Him. Every time you share your blessings, you are pointing people back to God. Your life becomes a story of transformation, a story that inspires others to trust God with their own lives. You are living proof that God's blessings are real and that they are meant to be shared. Being a channel of blessing isn't always easy. There will be times when you feel like you don't have enough, or that you're too overwhelmed to help others. But that's when God steps in. When you rely on Him, He gives you the strength and resources to continue being a blessing, even when it's hard. Trust that God will always provide what you need to fulfill the purpose He has for you. The more you bless others, the more you will see God's hand at work in your life. He will open doors, create opportunities, and bring people into your path who need what you have to offer. It's a beautiful thing to witness how God uses your life to touch others. And as you continue to bless, you will experience deeper levels of joy and fulfillment than you ever thought possible. God's blessings are not limited. He has an endless supply, and He wants to pour them out on you so that you can continue to pour them out on others. When you live with an open heart and hands, ready to give, God will make sure you never lack. He will continue to fill you up so that you can keep being a blessing to those around you. It's a cycle of abundance that never ends. Your role as a channel of blessing is not just for today, it's for the future. The seeds you plant now will grow into a harvest that will bless generations to come. Your children, grandchildren, and even people you may never meet will be impacted by the legacy you leave. By living as a channel of blessing, you are creating a ripple effect that will continue long after you're gone. Being a channel of blessing is one of the greatest callings you can have. It's not about what you can get, but about what you can give. And in giving, you find that God always provides more than enough. You become a living testimony of His love, His generosity, and His power to transform lives. The blessings you share will come back to you in ways you can't even imagine, and your life will be richer for it.